Hello everyone, my name is Ithaca Maxwell, but you can call me Ithy-Max or just Ithaca. My pronouns are they, them. I am so glad to be here with you today. Welcome to my channel, Stream of Consciousness, and also welcome to my craft room. Some of you may be familiar with my content through my TEDx talk or Instagram, and some of you may be totally new. Either way, I'm so grateful we had the opportunity to meet today. A little bit about myself. I am a TEDx speaker, a sewist of clothes and quilts, and just an all-around crafty person. I recently rediscovered my love of writing and connecting to people through speaking with my first TEDx talk called Dressmaking Saved My Life and Other Hopeful Realities. You can find a link to this video in the description below. And I will also be storing a link to this talk and hopefully future TEDx talks in a playlist called My Talks, which is also here on this channel. Just a little bit of background about this first talk that I gave. I spoke about finding oneself through artistic self-expression, specifically how dressmaking helped me find myself while battling PTSD. Up until recently, I considered my TEDx talk to be a one-time event. It was just something to cross off the bucket list, one and done. But then I saw the impact it had. People reached out to me and about their own experiences with mental illness and PTSD, and I was so inspired to hear how so many other people start and continue their healing journeys with art. And after a particularly rough last year where I sewed almost nothing the entire year, I realized I am still continuing my healing journey, and that for me, healing is always going to be a process and probably will never be a destination. It's something I have to work at. And just like my healing, my sewing is a process. There will always be more things to learn, and there will always be more work to do, and the skills can be improved, but they can't necessarily be perfected. This was something hard to realize after I completed my largest sewing milestone to date after my first TEDx talk. And that project was my wedding dress. Afterwards, I was left without a goal or a direction. And it took a year of inner work to discover that everyday progress in both healing and sewing is worth celebrating and documenting. My sewing and my healing are closely linked in that one progresses best in combination with the other, which brings me to why I'm here today. I'm here to create art with you and to heal with you. Every video, I will update you on some of my most recent projects and techniques and designs, and I'll share something I learned along the way. I chose the name Stream of Consciousness for this channel as a play on the phrase stream of consciousness, which is a narrative style that mimics how thoughts and words and ideas and sounds flow through one's mind. And for those of you unfamiliar with this style, it can sound like phrases and sentences that run together with no pauses or punctuation, and it quickly shifts from one thought to the next. And much of what I think about and learn about myself while sewing occurs in this manner. Thoughts and feelings tend to collide when I'm on autopilot, like when I'm ironing or when I'm tearing out seams. My seam ripper and I are best friends. It's also where ideas for my new designs come from. So, with each video, I will piece together the lessons and stories that come to light in my stream of consciousness while I sew. And the format of these videos might be a little bit different than what you're used to. There will be minimal editing, and you may have noticed this already in that this video is all one piece. And you may have heard me stumble over some words and phrases. Sometimes these words and phrases sound one way in my mind, but they sound differently whenever I speak them. But if there's anything I've learned as a TEDx speaker, it's that you have to keep going. When you're on the stage in front of an audience of 100 people or 200 people or 300 people, There is no editing. There is no going back. There are no do-overs. You just have to pick yourself up and pick up where you left off. And also, in real life, there is space between words, and there is space between thoughts. And that space can be so vital. It allows us to pause before responding to questions or remarks. It allows us to think and consider the right words. And it's much more akin to how we speak to each other and connect to each other in person. It's real. And as I mentioned, there is no way to delete and edit what you say in real life, either on stage or in the most intimate conversation with the person you love. So extra care must be taken to consider if the words being spoken are truly reflective of our values. And I'd like to practice this skill with you here if you'll have me. Maybe we can learn and practice together. And this channel is, after all, a safe space. Together we can be vulnerable. We can, we'll be able to talk about successes and failures and lessons learned. And keeping that in mind, I ask you to please be kind. Please be kind. Make space. Make use of the space make use of the space between words and thoughts. The goal of this channel is to share joy and knowledge, not to judge and be judged. Some might argue that's better left to deities and elder gods. Now, that being said, I'm excited you're here. We're going to accomplish so many great things together. Stay tuned for more, my friends. Until then, know that I'm proud of you and I'm excited to see you again soon.